She flaunted her wealth. I mean, as stories go, that the story that always hit home with me was that she would have a party at the presidential palace, and they would be in one room that was air conditioned, but really chilled, so that the women could wear their fur coats. You know, this is in a tropical island, but you know, these were women who went to Paris, and they had fur coats for when they went to Paris, so they could bring them there and wear them. I think her ego actually got to her, led to her demise and to Jean-Claude's downfall, because she put these televisions in different neighborhoods and in villages, so that nobody had a television, but there was this TV in the square. You could come watch it. I remember they had this grand ball, and she broadcast it. So here are these pitifully poor people watching her and her guests in these luxurious gowns and diamonds and sapphires and all sorts of jewelry, just living it up at this ball. And here they are in these little dirt poor villages. And that was the beginning of the end. I mean, it just really it came apart in a hurry after that. I mean, so we just went there to try and tell the story of Michelle and what happened by talking to people who saw what she did, and as well as people who knew her. But she was gone by then.
2, 3. Ribbon off. Ribbon off.
Will start screaming and falling out, because when you open the box, there are these earrings. The most beautiful expression of appreciation.
You know what I love? I love a drop diamond, honey. And I love a hoop. So all the youngins have hoops and all the legends have drop diamonds. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Black diamonds with white diamonds on the other side. And I was done. I was like, I mean, I was speechless.
Crazy love. They're real. Of course they're real. Oh, that was really fun. That was fun.
Most every revolution has an event that finally triggers a people to action. Unlikely as it may seem, the incident in Haiti was a television broadcast, shown in squares like this across the country on TVs, which the First Lady had installed to show her good works. And what the people of Haiti saw in May of 1984 was this lavish benefit ball, which Michelle had organized on behalf of the poor. Tell me about that $500 plate dinner. What was it like?
Let's say Nero came back and gave a party in 1985 in Haiti. It was Nero. It was it was incredible. It was incredible. Decadence, the champagne that was being offered. I remember that night they didn't give champagne, they gave Krug.
Very expensive.
The most goddamn expensive champagne. Most goddamn expensive champagne in the world.
Haiti had never seen anything like it. Ministers' wives dressed in Parisian gowns, a jeweler flown in from Paris to present a $30,000 necklace as a door prize.
I watched this and I said to myself, I wonder how they never understood what they were doing to themselves.
What do you mean? What were they doing to themselves?
Well, this party was broadcast live over Television Nationale, the government television.
So when people watched this ball, I mean, wasn't this a benefit to raise money for poor people?
It was a benefit to raise money. But the clash of that luxury, that display of wealth versus their poverty situation was just too much for anyone to digest. They have killed all the pigs in the country.
The reaction here in Gonaïves, where people still respond with fury at the memory of that party.
4 different entrees, 10 different appetizers. There were several courses, and so we got to try every single one. Wow!
Without a doubt, the food for this ball had to be as legendary as the legends itself.
That's out of control. Let's go to the kitchen now.
Hallelujah.
On that day, we had everything that the people were going to have that night. I don't know about the ravioli. And 10 other courses that they didn't have. Now let's try this wine. I had to sample the wine, sample the martini, sample the champagne. Love it, love it, love it. Fellini, Montrachet.
Can we talk about the fact that we had 7 wines to taste and 3 champagnes and 4 cocktails?
Stunning!
By the end of the thing, we were completely wasted.
All the desserts were so great, we finally decided just take them all. Don't just do one, do all 10 of them. I never ate so much in my entire life and was sick afterwards.
Standing ovation to you all. Bravo.
Nothing else to do but party.
Welcome, Michael McDonald.
Michael McDonald singing these songs many of these women had written or songs they had sung, and they all get up on the stage one after the other. So there was no end of delights.
To be reverential and dance to Motown at the same time. Now, who gets that in one room?
It wasn't really, in the end, about the flowers and the food or the room or the music in the room, all of which was spectacular and beautiful, but it was about the feeling.
The rest of the night I had my shoes off and I danced until I was silly.
Time when Haiti was on the verge of bankruptcy, unable even to buy fuel for its trucks and buses, and facing food shortages. It was just at this moment that Michelle and an entourage of 14 set off on a fateful shopping trip to Paris.
And for the first time, people got very angry because Michelle spent $1 million for 1 week and then asked for a $2 million from the governor of the central bank, and she got it. And we understand that she spent $1.7 million.
On what?
On clothes, on paintings, on fur coats, and also refrigerator for the fur coat.
Hey, I got a trolley.
Talk about love is in the details. She had a special trolley made because her house is way up there and the picture was way down there, so that would have been a very long walk in high heels. And she said, you know what would be fun? Let's get a trolley.
We need to get this dusted, huh?
In my backyard, Colin and team were setting the stage for the Legends Luncheon.
Creating the gazebo for Friday's luncheon was no easy feat. What's with this linen? We used this gorgeous apple green silk tablecloth covered with this embroidered, wonderful organza overlay with these gorgeous apple green handmade plates, all perfectly rimmed in platinum.
Could you find my glass of champagne? The secret is to have a glass of champagne 2 minutes, 10 minutes before your guests arrive. It's calm things down.
Face the door.
Is it really possible that a shopping spree could have ignited a revolution?
The shopping spree was the spark.
And what it did was to ignite rebellions all over Haiti. A revolution was now underway. There were rumors that Duvalier had ordered plane loads of Uzi submachine guns, and there was a fear that the Tonton Macoute were about to be unleashed on the demonstrators. But there were also reports that the President for Life and Michelle were preparing to flee.
We are still here.
There were butlers standing at the front door with wonderful trays of fine champagne, waiting for the first guest to come.
Oh! This has been a year in the making. A year in the making.
She looked stunningly gorgeous and just a little bit anxious, as any hostess would be after planning a party for a year.
Although this was a great, lavish, fun party, it wasn't about the party. We all knew that it was about creating a living celebration of praise and glory and honor to these women. And every single moment, every single thing I did was based on offering to these women a thank you like they'd never seen or heard before.
He was the first person in those 30 years to understand that show business was the name of the business. And her show business was very well done.
As First Lady, Michelle immediately enlisted Haiti's TV network to promote herself as a champion of the poor and to solicit contributions for her Michelle Bennett Duvalier Foundation. Every day, the elegant First Lady was featured in scenes like this, launching vaccination campaigns, touring hospitals, giving her heart to the people. It was a powerful image that won over even such a symbol of saintliness as Mother Teresa.
I've seen many people coming, and kings and people, presidents and prime ministers, but I have never seen the poor people being so familiar with their heads of state as they were with her. It was a beautiful lesson for me. I have learned something from you. So, thank you.
She was capable of showing that she could be the very best And in reality, she displayed that she was the very worst.
What about the First Lady's foundation and the millions of dollars she had raised on behalf of the poor?
That was just a cover. Just a cover.
Was she taking a lot of money out of it, you think?
Oh, yes, yes. I believe that was a very important source of income for her.
This scene came to symbolize the blind arrogance of Baby Doc and Michelle's regime. The dictator hurling small change to the poor, while he and his wife extorted hundreds of millions.
Wanted it to be was an event like nothing anyone had ever experienced. Then I called Colin Cowie.
Hello, darling.
Hello, darling. There's Colin.
How are you, my dear?
Because if you're going to have a big party, who do you call? You call Colin Cowie.
Details, details, details. Oprah's mantra is love is in the details, and I completely agree.
One of the things I wanted to discuss was gifts in the room.
There were conference calls every evening on a Tuesday, and as we got closer and closer to May, we'd be speaking 4 or 5 times a day.
So champagne or not champagne?
Let's give the candle, the welcome note, a bottle of champagne and flowers to all the legends. Hello, darling.
Darling! Oh my goodness, this is fabulous. The first event of the Legends Weekend would be a private luncheon at my home.
Gail, this is the floor plan.
How many people is this, Colin? 64. 8 weeks to go, Gail and I met with Colin to finalize the details.
I thought that's what you meant.
No. Oh, that's fantastic.
It takes us from drab to fab.
Drab to fab. Love is in the details.
You can have a choice of 3 different napkin rings. You tell me what you like for them.
They're all nice. These kinds of decisions make me nuts. It's in every napkin. It's in every flower. It's in every recipe. It's in every single aspect of the event. Love the pretty little box with the moss.
And then we do this when you're filled with the roses.
You know what really makes this? Is the different shape.
I don't agree with what they're doing. We cannot have this scandalous wealth side by side with the abject poverty. Things have got to change.
As I was building this bridge out in back of my house, I started to think about all of the legendary women who had become a bridge, a real bridge, to now for me. Not only did each of these legends make history, they took the first steps that created a journey without boundaries for my generation. So throughout 3 glorious days, we all rejoiced and we celebrated their legacy and our own. On Friday afternoon, as those legends and young'uns first arrived, it was heaven in my living room.
First lady, she's a bum.
Michelle Bennett, she's a prostitute. She made voodoo to take jumper, and all the time she took marijuana. Spending money, millions and millions of dollars.
Michelle Bennett. That's what she meant. Everybody called her is a lesbian.
She was a devil.
Lesbian.
She tried to eat all the little children.
For sacrifice.
Okay.
That's what she meant.
By sacrifice.
No charge about the former First Lady seemed too extreme. Throughout the country, chants and lurid songs about Michelle's sex life rang out on the streets. Graffiti and crude drawings appeared on walls. The body of this Tonton Macoute, a hated Duvalier security policeman, was roasted and paraded through the streets of the capital. When we talked to the people who murdered him, they told us that Michelle Duvalier had ordered the man to poison the water supply of the capital and that they had killed him before he could carry out her order. Who told the Macoute to do that?
Qui est-ce qui dit Macoute voulait faire ça?
Who told the Macoute to do that?
Qui est-ce qui dit Macoute voulait faire ça?
Michelle Bennett.
Michelle Bennett.
But how did it happen that this one woman could have so mobilized the fury of a nation? Michelle's anger was reduced to acts of symbolic vengeance. But in New York, Michelle's brother was attacked in the streets, and in Paris, the Duvalier's financial advisor was beaten and hospitalized.
Oprah Winfrey's Legends Ball.
I'm standing on my front lawn where, a little over a year ago, I was inspired to create a celebration honoring women who, through their talent, their courage, their tenacity, opened doors and allowed an entire generation to walk through. I wanted to thank them for paving the way for me, as well as countless others. The 3-day, once-in-a-lifetime event began with an unforgettable luncheon, then a glamorous white-tie gala, and finally, a heart-bursting Sunday brunch. This is the story of my Legends Ball.